Hello everyone, glad to welcome you to my channel. Today I want to talk to you about the topic of whether to live together for marriage. Should one perhaps agree to the proposal to live in a civil marriage? Or should one still wait for that cherished proposal of marriage? Yes, most women agree to a civil marriage because they fear being alone due to the possibility that things may not work out. Often due to unresolved internal issues, a woman is willing to make decisions that she would not really want to make in her life. After all, most of us, when we were little girls, once imagined a lavish wedding, a beautiful dress, beautiful flowers, and pictured ourselves as a princess at a ball, and everything was beautiful, but in the fairy tale, the prince never suggested living together. So, frequently, a woman indeed accepts such a proposal, not because she wants to, but because she may fear losing her man, who is either nearby or wants to test the relationship, to see how it will develop. However, she often traps herself because the man in such a marriage is usually very satisfied, but not the woman. Living together is a trap of civil marriage. For a man, it is often a trial, well, let's say, to see how it is. Because when a man meets his woman, when he knows for sure that it is his woman in front of him, he quickly makes a decision. He doesn't need these trials. He is ready to marry quickly. He is ready to make a proposal quickly because he understands that this is the woman next to him with whom he wants to live. If you are in a prolonged testing phase, it is often the first indicator that the man is unsure whether he wants to build a relationship with you further, whether he wants to marry you, or if he is in a waiting mode, waiting for the one he would quickly marry. And here it is very important to distinguish between effective cohabitation and ineffective cohabitation. If you are a wonderful couple who love each other and the stamp in the passport plays no role for you, meaning you perceive each other as husband and wife, then you have effective cohabitation. You are just not officially declared husband and wife, but you solve problems together, you improve together, you share everything, let's say, equally. Any feelings and emotions, experiences you share with each other. You are used to solving problems, meaning even without being in an official marriage, you are on the right path of evolution. You are developing as a couple. So in your life, some domestic problems, some difficulties arise, you solve them, you love each other and move forward. And then the stamp in the passport becomes really indeed the nuance that is simply missing. Often for the woman herself, it serves as a seal that everything is indeed official. But there is also ineffective cohabitation. And what happens in ineffective cohabitation? Often a trap occurs for both. It is convenient for the man. He comes home, for example, to a delicious meal, a clean space. He has coziness and comfort. But the problems that should be resolved as a couple are not being addressed. Some nuances that the spouses no longer turn a blind eye to. That is, when a couple addresses certain issues in an ineffective civil marriage, these problems can be ignored, put on hold. After all, we are still not married, so we won't deal with these problems. And here the couple does not develop. That is, you are in an ineffective civil marriage. Next, daily life. Daily life begins to consume the relationship. Those that may have just been budding, just starting, and often couples make the mistake of entering into civil marriage very quickly. That is, they haven't had the chance to indulge in the candy bouquet period, romance, to miss each other, to experience. That is when emotions are boiling, when everything is bubbling. They want to be with their partner 24/7. And to be better for each other, they start moving in together, which makes things worse because they had too little, let's say. Of the candy bouquet period, too few of all those emotions that will later strengthen their relationship. And here they moved in together and naturally daily life began, which slowly starts to destroy the relationship. So the relationships haven't yet strengthened enough to be tested by daily life, but they are already being tested. And again, a couple that could potentially form a happy family in the future may fall apart in a civil marriage during the stage of daily life. The requirements for a cohabitant are lower than for a spouse, and often one turns a blind eye to the man's flaws. And what happens at that moment? A woman turns a blind eye to the man's flaws. That is, well, he's not her husband, so it's fine. At that moment, she is living her life not with the right person. Perhaps she is already dissatisfied with this cohabitant, but he is not her husband. And it turns out that a woman often loses her precious time. That is, when a couple is in a relationship but does not live in the same space, the woman observes the man, she draws conclusions from his behavior, and makes certain decisions based on that. Well, and about what is important to her. And when she realizes that the man next to her is not the right one, that she wants something different, she makes the decision to break up. But when people start living together, they become more attached to each other, drawn to each other, and it becomes harder to make the decision to break up because the person also becomes close, but he is not the one she dreamed of, not the man who should be by her side according to the woman's expectations. Further, a life of uncertainty. Often a woman is waiting for that very proposal. And she tries very hard to be a good hostess, so that everything is delicious, wonderful, beautiful for him. And she is all so beautiful. And she tries very hard. She often waits for that very proposal because for women in most cases, I'm not saying for all, it is very important when a proposal is made. It means she is truly chosen. She understands that the man wants to be with her in marriage. But when a woman is in a civil marriage for a long time, she experiences, let's say, a decrease in self-esteem. That is, she no longer believes in herself. She doesn't believe that she can be loved. She understands that the man does not want to marry her. And her state can reach depressive levels. And naturally, she will not be happy. And the person next to her will not be happy either. Furthermore, she may develop an obsessive state that she will still marry him. And she wants to achieve this at any cost. That is, it is like a trophy. I want to get this prize, and that's it. And it will be so. And she no longer looks at the man's flaws. She has forgotten everything in the world. And she no longer thinks about what she doesn't like about him. And she doesn't see it. The most important thing for her is to get her coveted prize. And what happens when she gets it? That is, the man proposes, and she has achieved her goal. And at that moment, her eyes are opened. She realizes that the man next to her is not the one she dreamed of, not the man with whom she would like to build a happy relationship. So again, it is always necessary to be completely honest with oneself and to choose the best for oneself. Do not settle for less. Do not belittle your inner self. Do not hurt the little girl inside you, for she hardly dreamed that a prince would come to her and say, well, let's go live together. You will cook soup for me and clean the house. No, the little girl once chose the best for herself, so you should choose the best for yourself as well. If you are satisfied with everything, then that's great. If you do not betray yourself and your soul, then everything is good. But if you make a decision, let's say, to step over yourself, that is, you wanted a different proposal, but you are afraid of missing your chance, afraid of losing, do not hurt yourself. Understand what you want from your life and what you want from a relationship, and what kind of man you want to see by your side. A man who makes you a beautiful marriage proposal. One who, for years, maintains a pause, not understanding what status you hold for him. Next, the effect of cohabitation. In fact, couples who live together for marriage in a civil union are less happy than those who marry immediately, such as right away. And one more reason not to enter into marriage if you are in a civil union or if you are being offered a civil union. A civil union is always a test. What is a test? A test is uncertainty. So if a man offers to live in a civil union, it means he is not sure he is ready to propose to you. He is making it comfortable for himself. This often happens, and if neither you nor the man are sure, then why make this decision? Why try where your soul suggests, for example, that this is not your person? When you love and are loved, a person always knows who is in front of them and what they want. So learn to trust your own heart, learn to listen to your soul, do not cause yourself pain, love yourself, know what you want in this life and what you deserve. By loving yourself and making decisions that bring you joy, some pleasant moments, you create your beautiful life, not from pain and torment and not from wrongly made decisions. That's all I have for this video. I was Alice Vardomska with you. I hope for your likes and subscriptions. Write in the comments what you would like to discuss in my new videos. Don't forget to hit the bell, and goodbye everyone.